Whether you're working while pregnant, on maternity leave, or have returned to work after having a baby, there are workplace rights in place to protect you, and you should be treated fairly by your employer. Your employer has a duty of care to look after your well-being and to act to prevent or stop bias or discrimination in the workplace. These protections are there to help you work safely during pregnancy, attend your antenatal appointments, and get fair treatment while you are away on maternity leave. There are also rights in place to support you after returning to work. For instance, if you need time off to care for a sick child or want to ask for flexible working. Unfortunately, workplace bias and discrimination towards parents does happen. In this film, you'll hear about how to recognise this if it happens to you and what steps you can take. You'll learn a bit about your rights and where you can go to get the help that you need. What is discrimination in the workplace? Workplace bias or discrimination can show up in a variety of ways. It might come from a particular individual, or it might be a group of colleagues. It might be one event or a series of issues that develop over time. It can be obvious or more subtle. It can make you feel isolated and stressed. It may impact on your working relationships, your confidence, your health, or your income. For instance, if you are dismissed, are offered a role with lower pay, or you decide to leave your job because of it. Some women experience outright discrimination. For instance, if they lose their job after telling their employer that they are pregnant. There is discrimination law in place to protect workers during pregnancy and maternity from unfair treatment. You shouldn't be treated unfairly or differently due to being pregnant or on maternity leave. Sometimes workplace bias and discrimination can be more subtle. For example, if you aren't invited to meetings that you feel you should have attended, if a flexible working request is unfairly refused, or if shifts are being offered to you at very short notice, which can make it challenging to arrange childcare. Discrimination and bias can include things like making it harder for you to do your job, causing you emotional distress or financial loss, or excluding you from opportunities like training or promotion. So, what can you do? Talk it through. You might find it useful to speak with someone about what is going on in your workplace. A friend, colleague, union rep, or family member can help you to consider the situation and help you to process your feelings about what is going on. Make notes of what has happened. It's useful to write some notes about what has happened and when. This can help you to make a clear case and to think about what you want and need, helping to ensure that you get the right advice. Seek help and advice. There are a few ways that you can get the help you need. Informal routes are often a good starting point. There is great support online and via helplines. You could contact your line manager or someone in HR. If your complaint is about your line manager, you could take it up with their line manager. The important thing is to take your time, plan what you need to say, and try to focus on the facts of the situation, referring to your notes. Be prepared to listen, as you may hear a different viewpoint. If needed, decide on next steps. If informal routes don't help, you might like to think about other options, for instance, looking at mediation or making a formal complaint using a grievance process. You might seek a way to change your role or to move on to a new team or employer. Taking legal action through an employment tribunal is also an option for cases of discrimination. Whatever you decide, it's important for you to look after yourself. Seek out friends or family who can offer good support. There's also great support on offer from helplines, like the one we run at Working Families.
It's important to get advice as soon as possible if you are considering legal action against your employer, as you need to bring a claim within 3 months less 1 day of the act you are complaining about. For further advice, search pregnancy and maternity discrimination on the sites listed on screen.